So here's an overview of how do we create and edit templates. If you have administrator privileges, you'll be able to see the Setup tab. And on the Setup tab, you go into Templates, and from here, we can create and manage the various templates that we have. All of your templates that you created will appear in the list view, and you can see them in either published or draft form. And you can easily switch a template from online and offline mode by simply clicking the published and switch to draft to publish. So if they're published, it means they're accessible, and if they're in draft mode, they've been taken online because you're working on them, which means no one will be able to access these templates. So let's have a look at the template ingredients that you have to work with. We call the ingredients elements, form elements or template elements. When you click the new template, you have three different areas. You have the first area, which is your template elements. You have the template working area, and you have the template preview. So let's go quickly through the various elements that you have to work with. So underneath the template elements is that we give you a basic structure where you need to put in a template name, a title, location, and section name. You can delete the section names, but we recommend to keep a template nice and clean by adding sections, because it's going to be easier for the user and easier for you to manage, for example, very long templates. The title and the location cannot be removed, but if your account is part of a customization account, then we can work with the changes that you require. So let's look at sections. A section is basically a section where you can have things inside a section. For example, the section will be safety, and this could be the questions around safety, for example. So this will then come up as a label to make it very easy for you to segment various things. And let me show you what I mean. So here we can have a maintenance, for example, maintenance section, and with other questions inside here as well. So we can see very easily how this actually works, because now we have safety and all your questions have been here, and it keeps it very nice and tidy. So let's delete these and delete that one. Then what we have is we have a table, and table is, think about table as an Excel spreadsheet where you can add more rows and you can do calculating fields, for example. And we're going to go through in detail on how to build these table forms. When you're doing a table, you'll notice that it adds as its own section. So a table will be its own section automatically with the fields inside. So let's delete that again. We have, under the advanced settings, we have trigger section, which is really about if this then that. So for example, if I'm trying to fill out a field, let's do one very, very quickly here that says, do I need a permit? So if the answer is yes, then I should be able to see a new section popping up that says permit details. And you can fill out that form. But if the user says no to this question, then this will never be shown. And we're going to cover this in greater detail in another video. We have labels, which is you want to describe a text or describe a question or give assistance. For example, do I need a permit? You might want to add in a label. You can easily drag it up in here and to add an explanation. So let's call this is explanation of the question, for example. And this will appear like this to give your users a better chance of understanding what is required of them. We have single line text, which is a single line text field, or you can have a multiple line text, which is a text box. We have yes, no, true, false, on, off, and that can also be changed. And I'll show you what that looks like. Let's delete this one, and let's delete this to keep it nice and tidy, to show that this is what a yes, no would look like. That they can go in yes, no, and you can obviously change this to any text that you want. Pass, fail, true, false, acceptable, non-acceptable, etc. We have yes, no, NA, which is you have a not applicable. We have multiple choice with one answer selected. We have multiple choice with one or more answers selected. We can add a date and time, a web image, and with a web image, the way it's designed, and let's delete these others so that they're not in the way. So let's call this instruction assistance. For example, you might have a PDF or an image of various materials or dump tanks or fuel tanks that people need some more assistance of remembering what actually goes in certain things. What you would do is you would simply upload this on your own domain and you would put in the URL here that reference to that image. The user can then say, I need some instructions about where this tank fuel goes, in what container. He can then bring up this image for further assistance as an example. We have website links, the same thing. You might want to link to a PDF document, you want to link to something else, you can easily put that in. We can add a digital signature in here that you can change and you can fill out and sign with your finger directly from the app. We can add a location, and we can add the photo capabilities, so you can take one photo or many photos. And of course we have the numeric tabs. And we're going to go in further videos into detail of each one of these different areas so you fully understand how it's been used and what you can do with them.